Hey kids, we're back and we're live at Laurelwood for a Tuesday. Yeah, when we go through the winter time, we kind of mix things up. And we do a Tuesday, we do a Monday, we do a Friday. We don't do the weekend eve thing.
Yeah.
Until we get back into the springtime, which we're going to do that again. And thanks for joining us on YouTube. I think we're up now. And we are glad to welcome in Coach Jaleel Kindle, Ducks offensive assistant, Friends of the Children, Lane County, here on the Danny and Justin radio program. Coach, that a boy.
Good to see you guys.
Nice to see
you.
you.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's talk about what we're trying to do with the kids. So, I know that you have how do you want to say? You have a heart for these kids,
passion,
right? Mm-hmm. A passion. And so let's talk about how we can get people engaged in the community, because Justin's not a dad yet.
Not quite.
I am. So let's talk about how we get kids engaged and how we help them take the next step and up, because there are some kids that are struggling, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, appreciate this opportunity, guys. I'm working with this organization called Friends of the Children, Lane County, and what really makes this organization unique is they provide professional mentorship from ages 4 all the way to 18. So they seek out within Lane County children that need opportunities, that need mentorship, that are going through tough struggles at home, whether it be socioeconomic, different parents, situations in and out. Mm-hmm. But what they do is we provide professional mentorship. And I'm a coach with the Ducks. I met Catherine, I met Matt at this organization, and I was blown away immediately at the opportunities they provide for over 50 children right now. And I know this program is growing to 80. And so I jumped on board and said I'd love to help use my platform as an Oregon Duck coach and help you guys raise funds and really support these children who need it.
So kids get plugged into this program. 92% go on to enroll in post-secondary education. They serve our country or enter the workforce. 83% receive their high school diploma or GED. So for someone like you who's in the athletic realm, mm-hmm. that's important. I mean, if a kid wants to get and reach out and go further, you've got to have that foundation. You've got to have that basic stuff going on, right?
And that's what this organization really strives to do. As a coach, mentorship is everything. I've had mentors within my life who've helped me get to where I'm at. Prior to me coaching for the Ducks, I was a special education teacher for the last 12 years. Cool. So
wow.
Really had a chance to get to see what it's like for these children and the different home lives that they come from. And everyone has different situations. And if I call it, we have champagne problems here,
sure.
In Eugene sometime, but there really is a community that is struggling socioeconomically. So this organization seeks those folks out, creates partnerships with the local school districts, and provides mentorship and resources for these parents and families. And so I was over the moon. It was an easy call for me to jump on board and help these guys out. And, a lot of my coaches have been super supportive. We had our O-line coach, Alik Terry, down here at Laurelwood last Thursday. And, just to plug that, every month we do a coaches series. So we're going to grab a different coach from the Oregon Athletics program. And on a Thursday night here at Laurelwood, they've been gracious enough to give us their space. But we'll have a coach here talking about mentorship and the power and really trying to help generate some eyeballs in the community on this organization that's supporting these children. So that's just one of the opportunities. And I've been so blessed to have these relationships at the University of Oregon with the students and coaches who are all so gracious to help out the kids of Lane County.
And of course, you mentioned everyone has their own situation at home. I struggled at times when I was kind of at that age, so I can totally understand. What, for you, you're a coach as well. How do you approach connecting with different people that kind of have those different sort of things going on?
Well, the first thing, I always lead with positivity. As a coach and as a teacher and as a father of a 3-year-old, I haven't slept in 3 years, by the way.
boy.
But leading with positivity and trying to understand and build that relationship with the child. A lot of people are closed off at first, especially if you come from adverse situations. So we really start by building that relationship, leading with positivity, and figuring out ways of how we can support each child individually. So, yeah.
So I think people out there listening would go like, how can I get plugged in? Because I mean, it would be like a massive thing. Like I said, oh my gosh, this is a huge thing. And but one person, one chance, one opportunity can help build that. So talk about that.
Well, literally, we have obviously nonprofits are based around donations and raising funds. So that would be the easiest way, is to visit the website. We have a great program, 12 by 12 for $12 a month, 12 months out of the year.
Perfect.
That's supporting our staff.
That's like 2 cups of coffee.
Literally.
Come on.
Maybe one nowadays, but
Right.
yeah, we have programs like that and just different events. We have an event this Saturday, actually the 5th anniversary of the organization. Friends of the Children is this Saturday at the Downtown Athletic Club from 11 to 1. Tickets are on sale on the website. You can come out and support. We're going to have UO Athletic student athletes from different teams, golf, basketball, baseball, football, kind of mingling with some of the crowd, and we're going to be raising money and auctioning off some great items to raise money for the children.
So as we build this out, and how we talk about and you've already talked about a little bit about the community engagement, is what's the next step after that? So obviously there's fostering opportunities. There's other things that people can do that can step outside just opening up their wallet and such. So how's this organization, Friends of the Children of Lane County, kind of engage those people in the community?
Absolutely. It's a community effort. There are a ton of students here. I think just in the Eugene School District, there's 50,000 students. You add in Springfield, you start adding in the different groups. So I think the easiest way is contact nonprofits that you might be interested in that are working with children. You can certainly reach out to us. There's volunteer opportunities. And just in general, volunteering in schools. Schools always need great adults to help out. Go coach a youth sports team. There's a ton of, I think Eugene leads the country in nonprofits, so there's no shortage of opportunities to get connected with these orgs and figure some things out.
So so you seem really passionate about this. So tell me what your story is. What's your background? Because I think there's something that's connecting here.
Yeah, well, I'm a Tigard High School graduate. I'm a native Oregonian, state champs 03. You were there.
I was there.
So, just growing up and having mentors, having people that were there for me, having different coaches and teachers pour into me and help me get to the next level and play college football, which is what I did. And then in college, being away from my family, it was so important to find mentors and find people that were interested in things that I wanted to learn about. So I was always blessed myself. And then coming out of college, I didn't know what to do in life, and I got my first teaching job at Lincoln High School in Portland, Oregon, and I immediately fell in love with supporting kids.
The Cardinals.
Yeah. Good old Cardinals, baby.
This guy knows.
It kind of all started there for me was, I actually started as a lunch attendant at Benson High School. That was my introduction to education, was serving the pizza and the chicken to the little kids, and I was like, man, this is what I need to be doing. I need to find a way to carve out a career here. So taught for a few years, got my special education credential from Portland State while coaching football and track, and it all led to me, getting here to the University of Oregon and getting a chance with Coach Lanning to learn and operate within that program. And now it's my duty to give back and use this platform to support others, because I've had a ton of support myself.
Good. So Jaleel Kendall joining us, the offensive assistant with the University of Oregon, joining us, talk about Friends of the Children, Lane County, as we're here at Laurelwood Golf Course here on a Tuesday. Yes, we're out here on a Tuesday. Yeah, I know it's odd on Fox Sports Eugene and Newport. Thanks for tuning in wherever and however. So as we move this forward and how we keep empowering these kids. And I think that's a key as well. So with all the noise and all the other stuff that goes on in the world, kids can get, disenfranchised and such. So talk about how this organization can help those kids move on to the next level, because GEDs are important. Getting your high school diploma is important, and just getting to that next step.
Absolutely. Well, the first step is each student gets paired with an individual professional mentor. So there's a one-to-one element as far as who we pair these students up with, or these children, and that commitment to that child is from age 4 all the way to 18. A lot of organizations, provide, wraparound services, jump in when they can. This organization really makes that commitment. And so they have that mentorship piece. Each mentor spends at least 3 to 5 hours a week with that child. So taking them bowling, going to their schools. They also, Friends of the Children also has a downtown clubhouse where, I work out of sometimes in the office with Catherine, and the students will be in the clubhouse, kind of a boys and girls club after school program type deal. And it's really cool to see. And the mentors also will visit the children in their school. So outside of supporting the child, we do provide services for the parents as well. Parents are the key. They're that first touch point wherever the guardian is. So a great thing that they do is they have an entire team providing services and resources. Whatever that family needs, they have support from this organization. It's quite incredible.
So we want you to go to the websites. I think we've got it up on the stream at the Danny and Justin radio program, as you can get to right there. You can contact Friends of the Children's at friendsofthechildren.org, or you can call 971-205-2463. Volunteer, donate, or anything you can do to try and help these kids get to the next level. And I think that's the most important thing. As we're here at Laurelwood, here we talk sports, we talk all this other stuff, but you know what? These kids are the future of what we have in terms of growing what we want in this country and throughout the world. So what you guys are doing is incredible. So what your time is, and you're donating this time.
Absolutely.
This is not, you're not getting paid for this. So good on you.
Thank you. No, it's my duty. And again, the University of Oregon Athletic Department does an incredible job of reaching out to the community. We're at the Boys and Girls Clubs. We host students at our facility all the time for practice. So if anyone wants to reach out and set things up, feel free to reach out to us, because we're more than happy to give back. It's our duty. We have these amazing fans as the Oregon Ducks. We're the team in the state, and they do a great job supporting us. It's our duty to support them.
All right, what was Iowa like?
Oh man, that was crazy.
Sorry.
Talk ball?
We talk a little bit ball right now
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
next couple of minutes.
Yeah.
All right, what was it like?
Oh, it was incredible. That atmosphere is second to none. Fan base incredible. The weather was a little hairy.
Yeah.
But our players said this is just a normal Tuesday in Eugene. So we had normal operations. We're used to the rain. The children's hospital deal was awesome.
Yeah. What was that like?
A lot of people teared up. We had some guys mid-game kind of, really choking up. We didn't know we'd be able to see the actual children. You'd think it's far away, but you can actually see them.
Really see them.
And they're holding up signs. And Coach Lanning prepared us for that and said, hey, we're going to participate as a team regardless of the score. So that was a real cool opportunity for us as a team, and obviously got the win. Special teams, great job.
What was the sort of feeling like afterwards? I mean, man, it was a close game, and I know a lot of fans were on edge, but what was kind of the feeling like after that one?
Oh, man, so proud of our guys. They put in the work. They really do every day. It's incredible what these student athletes do, balancing their academics,
right?
Football, social life, and being able to focus for those 3 hours and go to battle with a Big Ten team like Iowa was a really incredible deal. So, excitement.
Right, and then quick turnaround this week, too.
Quick turnaround. Got Minnesota on Friday night. They're coming to town. They're a good program. Done a lot of great things. Obviously people are giving us their best right now. So we had a short week of practice. It's been a grind, but we're ready to go.
Is it hard knowing that everybody is punching up towards this team because it's their Super Bowl, because the schedule, and everybody can talk about the schedule, whatever, but it seems like everybody's punching up. up to this point.
Yeah, I mean, the Big Ten in general, every team is good. I was just talking to our AD the other day, and we're like, there's not going to be any easy games in this conference. So, we expect everyone's best. It's an honor to have people say, hey, we want to beat the Ducks this weekend, and that's why we prepare so hard every day, and our student athletes are so locked in, and I'm just impressed with these guys. Not only am I a coach, but I'm a fan. These guys are awesome young men.
And is this a mature team? I mean, it feels like this is a young team, but it also feels like, hey, they're getting in media availabilities as freshmen. Can you talk about the maturity of this team despite the age?
Absolutely. It's a credit to the program. When you come to the University of Oregon, there's a standard. And, from the day you walk into this building, you're expected to operate like a professional, and we are preparing you for the professional ranks, not only in football, but also in life and career. We have a ton of programs, and, it's just a really special deal right now. We're back to where we were. I talked to a lot of alumni who are super excited about where the program's at, but credit Coach Lanning and that staff. I mean, I'm lucky to be a part of it, but those guys, they put in the work.
So again, Julia, where was your background? In terms of your background in terms of the collegiate?
Yeah, so I played football at St. Peter's University in Jersey City. It was an FCS school, so I went from Tigard all the way to New Jersey.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude. What was that like?
Amazing. At my first 6 months in New Jersey, I was like, why is everyone being mean to me? I can't even ask a question. Where's the train? Where's this? Once I got used to it, I loved it. I had the same quarterback in high school and college, Scott Bonanno.
Wow.
We won a title at Tigard together. We went over to New Jersey, broke a ton of passing records, and it was just a really cool experience to be right outside of Manhattan. I played wide receiver, so that's really what my specialty is. I help out with the running backs now, but that's kind of my background.
All right. So what's the score this weekend? Come on.
I can't do it. I don't need this clip.
I know. I'm not going to put you on. I'm not going to put you in no bulletin board stuff. I did. I had to ask.
No, I appreciate it.
All right, Jalil Kindle. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Really appreciate. And thanks for all the work you do.
Absolutely.
And thanks for giving back to the community.
It's the least I can do. Absolutely. You guys have given so much to me, the state of Oregon. So, want to get some eyes on this organization and all the other great organizations that help people here in Eugene.
All right. Beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
Jalil Kindle. Yep, there he goes. The Ducks offensive assistant. Friends of the Children, Lane County. We're putting it up on the YouTube channel. You can donate. You can contact them. friendsofthechildren.org or call 971-205-2463. All right, when we come back, Justin and I are going to do a little sports when we come back, right?
Yeah, a little sports.
We'll do a little sports.
Talk
thing.
sports sometimes.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. When we come back on the Danny and Justin radio program here live from Laurelwood on Fox Sports Eugene and Newport.
Attention, please. Attention, please.
Have you heard the expression, don't beat the Bears? These days, keep them focused on local sports. Don't let them talk Cubs or Packers. You're listening to Danny and Justin on Fox Sports Eugene.
I have two women here with me. I get to see them.
Wednesday, the Golden Bachelor finale.
I know he has a connection with Cindy. They were together in the fantasy suite, and that makes me nervous.
With one shocking twist.
Last night I had my overnight with Cindy. Something did change. I don't know if it's going to blow up. I don't know what to do.
Watch the Golden Bachelor finale Wednesday at 8 p.m. on KEZI 9.
From the grit of practice
to the glory of game day, every play matters.
Watch the Friday Night Blitz on KEZI 9 News at 11:15.
your home for local high school football.
Covering Western Oregon's biggest local rivalries, matchups, and comebacks.
And incredible stories inside every game.
On the field, across Western Oregon, get more football out of your Fridays with Olivia Cleary and Sports Director Brett Taylor. Catch the Friday Night Blitz only on KEZI 9 News.
Hello, Eugene. Are you wanting to buy a new home but are waiting for interest rates to drop? Hi, I'm Susan Heisey, broker owner of Bailey and Heisey Real Estate in Eugene. I've been helping clients make smart real estate decisions for over 20 years, and my thinking is that right now is a great time to be a buyer. Paying rent is money down the drain. Let's get you into that new dream house sooner than later. Give Susan Heisey a call at 541-520-2246, and let's get moving.
When you're in Rome, you visit the Colosseum.
When you're in France, you visit the Eiffel Tower. And when you're in Eugene, you visit Cracktown Pizza, Eugene's best pizza and a Eugene cultural icon for over 40 years. Great pizza, growlers to go, and Cracktown Pizza delivers to all of Eugene and Springfield. Cracktown Pizza, the best pizza in
no
town.
idea what it is.
Call
So,
541-284-8484
tell Abby, so hop on the
visit
headset and tell her.
cracktownpizza.com.
Hi,
Do we still
Brad
have
here.
tickets still?
This month, it's all about family. Yours and ours. When you buy from Cottage Grove Chevy, you become part of our family.
So-
Every one of us
all
at
right.
Cottage Grove Chevy is devoted to making
And then we
your
have Kelly's
experience
tickets,
great.
and then we also have
Sales, service,
the
parts,
in-person.
accounting,
If they
finance.
donate, the first person
All
to
this
donate was going to
drives
get
you
the
best
football tickets
experience,
too.
value, and savings. We've
do
been
that.
doing this for over 33 years, and we truly appreciate your business.
It just all
Go to
came. I was going to tell you, but then
Find
Kelly
what you're
texted
looking
you.
for, Then join our family, Brad's Cottage Grove Chevy, the easy place to shop.
Millions of Americans.
I'm not going to get to all of it. Okay, don't. Yeah, I can't get overwhelmed here.
I know. It was one of those days.
They have a wide variety
All right,
of
here we go.
sports cards and memorabilia. Eugene's home for
This is
collectors
all.
A&J.
Hi, everybody. We're still live. Hi, even though we're in a commercial break.
Can they hear us?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
So that's why I don't want to get overwhelmed. See, this is where you get to see that I am like a prima donna, and don't overwhelm me. I have too much stuff in my head.
Get a show. Some of you may
All right, here we go.
if Bill Knight was involved. Others may ask if the Reeser family was involved.
So what do you want to do
Both
first?
questions.
Do you want to just do Nico?
This is Danny and Justin on Fox Sports Eugene.
I love that girl. That's my daughter Abigail back in the studio, who is producing the program right now, giving us a little Black Sabbath. Right? Is that what it is?
Ozzy, yeah.
Little Ozzy, yeah. Girl on Fox Sports Eugene and Newport. Thanks for tuning in, friends. That was a good segment. I mean, it was one of those things. You know, we get to talk sports and we get to talk all that other stuff, but it's about the kids, man. It's
If there's
about
like
the
one
next
thing that you could say like is a really good thing, it's helping children. You know, like that's it's kind of the most important thing, right?
Yeah, it is. And thanks for tuning in, friends, wherever and however. Thanks for being here on the whole YouTube thing, as Justin and I wave to you as we're down here in the basement at Laurelwood Golf Course and live on Fox Sports Eugene and Newport. Thanks for tuning in, friends. Tomorrow back in the studio, we've got the Minnesota Voice coming up later on this week. That'll probably be Thursday or so. We're going to talk a lot.
Grimm.
Yeah, we're going to talk a lot. What now?
Mike Grimm.
So we're going to talk a lot more Minnesota, Oregon throughout the rest of the week because it's a Friday night game. We've got a lot of basketball to talk about. Of course, Kelly Graves' squad is jumping into action again tonight. So can we start with Elisa Mevius? And that's just devastating in terms of for her.
Yeah.
In terms of, it's just horrible for the Oregon basketball program. She suffers a knee injury and is going to be out for the season. And this was a piece for Kelly Graves' squad that was going to be integral. But if you want to take and spin it into a positive, it's like, yeah, there's other pieces that they have, but, she put so much into this program already. And for me, and this is the personal side of it, is just like, I hope she gets past this and is able to recover fully and be able to contribute into the future, right?
Right. And she had, I believe, a broken hand last year.
Yeah.
It's just sort of been a couple tough blows in a row for this team, and for her specifically, obviously. And, sports are so psychological. I think that's the kind of thing we have to remember. And so you're right. The biggest thing for her is to mentally kind of get over the hurdle of, that she's going to have to work to come back.
Rehab.
Yeah.
She's got to rehab.
It's a tough thing. And I've never had to personally go through rehab, so I can't sit here and talk about my experiences. But from everything I understand, it's much as a mental thing as it is a physical thing.
Tonight, the Ducks take on Grand Canyon. The Antelopes are 0-2. The Ducks are 2-0. Kelly Graves, the head coach, as the Oregon basketball program looks to keep their strong start going in 2025-26. They look to start 3-0 for the 11th consecutive season, by the way, Justin. Oregon has been strong out of the gate under
They have
Kelly
been.
Graves. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that it always prepares his team. Obviously, the schedule hasn't been incredibly difficult so far, but I think that this team right now, we're learning about a little bit of the pecking order. We're learning about sort of the style of these players. Obviously, Coach Graves knows about them much more than us as viewers of this team, but I think that we are starting to get a sense of this team, and they've scored a lot of points so far and played pretty good defense, and I'm excited to see things as they head forward.
So the Ducks tonight at MKA, we threw it out there for tickets. If you wanted to donate and help us with Friends of the Children of Lane County, thanks again for your ears as we went out and let you know what the kids need here out in the Eugene area and Lane County. As I think it's important as well as we pull back just a little bit. We talked about this off air. Is we're talking about these athletes like Elisa Mevius and others. We talk about the football program and such. And these kids started somewhere, and sometimes you need that little bit of a lift, that little bit of a leg up, and that's what I love about what the Friends of the Children of Lane County are doing here in our area.
No, support is important. Everybody, especially at a young age, I think needs support in some way, and for one reason or another, some people get left behind, and that's a horrible thing. And I think that's something that's so amazing about this program, is it's helping those kids that have had a tough time, whether it be for one reason or another, because life, there's no playbook for it, right? There's no sort of one size fits all, and everybody has different things going on in their lives. So I think this is an amazing organization that's able to help out these kids, and that's what it's all about, as I said.
All right, so you can follow us on Danny and Justin. You can also go to the podcast, Danny and Justin, wherever you podcast. That silly thing where, well, it's not really that silly, but you can. It's 1 hour out of your life. So hopefully you tune back in as we get ready to get to the last part of the week. So we're already at Tuesday. So as we slide down into a short week for Oregon football, and let's talk about that for a second, because Oregon takes on Minnesota this weekend. Minnesota is that tricky little team. They're 4-2 in the Big Ten. They're 6-3 overall. Oregon is 8-1 and 5-1. And PJ Fleck brings this team in, and they are one of those sneaky little teams that, I don't know if you know what you expect out of them, but Justin, this is a team, I don't know if I'm concerned, except for the fact that Oregon travels to Kinnick Stadium, travels to Iowa City, and then has to come back after a hard-fought, a gritty game against the Hawkeyes, and on a short week, albeit at home, has to take on a team that can bring some problems.
Well, what does that sound like? Remember when the Ducks went out to Purdue last year, and everybody said, "Oh, it's the game after Ohio State," and it was a tough try. And they actually went out to I forgot where Purdue is exactly, but I know it's in Indiana.
West Lafayette.
West Lafayette. There you go.
There you go.
But they went out and traveled to West Lafayette, and they were able to get that done, and it was actually a blowout for them, and maybe so much so that Dylan Thieneman said that he was willing to come and be a Duck. But I think that I'm not necessarily worried as this team in terms of that. I think that they're going to be able to handle that travel. I do think this is a decent Minnesota team. They've got a decent passing game, a couple of good running backs. But I think this is also one of those games where you look at Minnesota and where they are in the ranks of the Big Ten, and I don't necessarily see them close to even that tier of a Michigan or a USC. So I kind of think that on paper, which is the game is never played on paper, that that this is one the Ducks can win.
All right, we want to give away some tickets. So what tickets do we want to give away, young man? Because I'm going to let you run this.
Okay. Well, we have the giveaway for 2 sets of tickets.
Okay, go.
Okay, we have 1 pair of women's basketball tickets for GCU. That's tonight at 6 p.m. And 1 pair of Oregon men's basketball tickets against South Dakota State for tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. So if you're the winner, you get both pairs.
Both pairs. the Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-343-5673. We're going to give it away to caller number 6 right now. So you need to come down, pick up the tickets. We'll go ahead and give them to you through the whole interweb thing. We need your email address. That's all you need to get the pair of tickets for tonight and tomorrow night, right?
That's
what it
correct.
is. Right. Okay. So caller number 6 at the Oregon Man Clinics hotline at 541-343-5673. So we've got Oregon, Minnesota this weekend on the football. We've got Oregon and Grand Canyon tonight for the Oregon women's basketball program. So what did you think about Jackson Shellstad and the Oregon men's basketball program in his debut this season? Because he didn't shoot very well. Oregon gets the win. They're 2-0 again. They beat Rice, and they've got another game coming up in a couple of days, and another homestand game. And Oregon State's on the offing in a few next week. So Dana Altman's team is trying to pull themselves together a bit, but I think are there concerns about Jackson Shellstad coming out after coming off of the injury, and how he's going to shoot? Is that going to be the bellwether of this team moving forward? Because I think there could be, and legitimately being, some concerns.
I'm not concerned yet. I'm glad to see him out there. I think that's, to me, the biggest thing, as much as anything, was that he was able to get on the floor. And I'm not so concerned about the shooting. I think that's sort of a game rep sort of situation. We know that Jackson Shellstad can shoot. I don't think that there's anything that's going to be physically impeding him from shooting the ball well if he's out there playing. I think that's something that they're going to have to clear him on, and obviously he's been very, very willing to get himself out there, and I think that the coaching staff, from what it sounds like, has kind of held him back just a little bit as he's trying to get back on the floor. Overall, I would say I was concerned with the guards in terms of the way they shot as a whole. Takai Simpsons was also 2 of 10, and then Wei Lin was 0 of 5. So as a whole, the guards weren't very good. I do think that, hey, it's early. You're going to have that sort of lack of continuity. I think that's as much as anything what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the shooting. I'm worried about a little bit of lack of continuity early in the season. And what I think you don't want to see is a situation where you take a loss against a team where way down the road, when we get close to March, the committee looks at it and goes, well, they did this against this team, and so it's just sort of they keep track of those things. So I'm not worried about Jackson as much as I am about just the continuity early on.
But doesn't this also fold into what we not necessarily argue about, but what we have concerns about when it comes to preseason rankings? And we're going to go all the way back to what we're in right now with college football, preseason rankings, and then setting that level, and then moving towards, okay, we have this level of where we have the in-season rankings, and then the college football playoff rankings, and preseason rankings for basketball, and where they're at. So it's harder to move down than it is to move up in some respects. Mm-hmm. So I always question about where Oregon gets placed because of the perception of what the program is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I would say for football, I think the perception is very much a concern. Correct me if I'm wrong, is there not more just like metrics that are used by the NCAA committee in basketball that sort of, they have the quad one wins and stuff like that? Like, there's just, I feel like, more samples over the course of how many games are there? Like 40-something?
32. 32 to 35.
Right. So normal. More of a sample size. You're facing higher and lower levels of competition overall.
But what's a quad one? What's a quad two?
I don't know.
That's what
isn't that based off of what those teams have done?
I want to have that.
I don't understand.
That's what I want to have.
I just know it's important, Danny. It just gets the people going.
So when we talked about Hawaii coming in, not a great program in terms of what they've done historically, right? Mm-hmm. But did they get enough wins to be able to move themselves up? And that affects, so that's the whole thing. It affects somebody else's program when the committee looks at what a ranking will be.
Mhm.
So, by the way, congratulations to Jim Mao from Eugene. He won himself some tickets.
Yeah.
He's going to go to the Oregon women's basketball game tonight, and he'll go to Oregon men's tomorrow night. Thanks for listening, Jim. Thanks for contributing to the program in your way. We appreciate it. Live from Laurelwood here on a Tuesday. Yes, we're out live. Abby's back in the studio. Yes, we wrestled her into doing this.
Yes, we got it for her.
Yeah, that's beautiful. All right, so tomorrow on the program, what are we doing?
We're gonna talk sports. That's for sure. Maybe.
All right, let's do dad joke.
Oh, a joke!
I got fired from the bank today. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her.
Dad jokes.
Gonna be an easy one today. By the way, I at work, my real job, I told the minimum joke,
And it went well.
It did went very.
It was a
well.
huge hit.
So yeah, it was. So where do surfers learn to surf?
I would say at the beach, but I'm sure this is a different answer.
It's at boarding school.
All right, that's all right. That's a good fun.
It's not
a minimum.
Not horrible.
Not a minimum, but
no. Yesterday was pretty.
Yesterday was pretty high bar.
Yeah,
so
thanks, buddy.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, you did a great job today.
Appreciate you.
All right. Back in the studio. Thanks, Abby, and thanks for everybody listening. I know it was a little disjointed. We had some technical things going on here, so we're not going to worry about that. Tomorrow on the program, we'll be back in studio. That's not Nick. That's not season. That's I'm not doing that. All right, there we go. All right, kids. Tomorrow on the program, Justin and I back. Gonna talk. We're gonna really grind into Oregon, Minnesota. All right. Take care.
Don't change that dial. This is John Canzano, and I'm coming up next with the Bald-Faced Truth. BFT is the state of Oregon's #1 sports talk show. We deliver big yes and strong opinions. Can you handle the truth? If so, join me for the Bald-Faced Truth coming up next on Fox Sports.